Okay, now. Right. So, guys, let's quickly weigh in. I don't know if you guys have seen on social media, real quick, about going around this week. I don't know what happened. Everyone is talking about this 100 men versus gorilla, one gorilla. You know, um, what do you guys think now? 100 men. Let's even spice it up a bit. 100 um, professional boxers. Let's say middleweight boxers like Floyd Mayweather. Oh,
Doesn't have to be boxers now.
okay. What should we make it?
I mean, yeah, I mean the argument is fun. It was interesting for 5 minutes on Twitter. But the men are going to win. Like it doesn't even need to be 150 men. I think 20 self even can defeat a gorilla. I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer and spoil the gorilla love definitely, but I think based on everything we know about gorillas, sure they are strong, but they're not fast. Also, I think their biology I think is set up in such a way that they tire quickly. Um, and part of what makes us humans is our intelligence. So it's not going to be a fight per se; it will be a hunt.
No, we're not saying hunt.
If it's 100
Hunt is
men,
different. No, we say fight. They stand gidigba,
I'm saying
face to face.
it's not going to
100
be
men, one
it's not
gorilla.
going to be a fight now, right? Because the reason why the gorilla is still where they are, why human beings have evolved over thousands of years, is because of our intelligence, essentially.
Mm.
So I think that should be enough for 20 men. Doesn't need to be 100. For 20 men, I think to take down a gorilla.
Okay, this one going intellectual way. But me, I'm saying in the jungle, 100 men in the jungle, one silverback. That silverback is winning 1000%. Right? Nothing you're going to. There's nothing you're going to throw at the gorilla. Punch or stick or nothing. The thing is, one punch from the gorilla is knocking you out.
Sorry, Phoebe. When you say that this people are allowed to hold sticks,
Yes.
if people are listening, get out of your job.
Okay. Oh,
Because
no,
what
okay.
you
If,
tell
okay.
me,
If no stick, Uncle, if there's no stick, what are you going
Yeah,
to do?
we'll
if you
go
are not
chop gorilla
sticks,
soup.
no, you need to see. No, so maybe are not sticks there. Maybe it's just like a open and break to do all these things. Because two weapons,
Mm.
just a gorilla. That's a different story. I'm still waiting for humans, but that's a different story. But if you are telling me that 100 men, I didn't even need intellectual men, give me 10 men. The men that were there when the gorillas, the men that don't know that left from right, that all they are saying is meat or food. That
Mm.
gorilla will run first.
Me, I don't think so. No, I don't think so at all.
Mm-hmm.
See, gorillas, if they don't fight, we human beings, we are very logical. Before they don't bite one person leg, come out. Yeah, the rest people, the tension, the fear, it will leave you instantly. So,
But we're telling you now that right now, you don't have a choice. It's either fixing or it's. It's not, it's not when they give you room to snap and walk out. I don't want to do this anymore. No, don't put me in that situation. When I say they put 100 men in a field with a gorilla, the gorilla will not walk out.
They go chop that gorilla like
But me personally,
barbecue.
I could focus on the balls.
That's if you can near the balls
uh,
now.
that's the thing. That's
The-
the thing. Gorilla, the way they fight, they are not fighting in an organized manner.
Exactly.
Everything is everywhere. It's so disorganized. So,
As in with
it,
teeth,
no,
with
but
claws, with
that's a
strength, with muscle,
disadvantage.
everything.
That's a disadvantage for the gorilla now, right? And I think a lot of the pro gorilla people rely on the shock and awe, the idea that if the gorilla kills one or two people, everybody else will run
Mm.
yeah.
away. But it actually works the other way around. And I'm saying that like there's a reason why the gorilla is still in the jungle
Mm.
and human beings we've moved basically inland. Because of intelligence, right? So let the gorilla be swinging however it wants to swing. It just takes 3 or 5 people. Okay, cut its leg, cut off its tendon in its heels, so it cannot
Saying
run.
bass
Like
boss, bass boss.
One thing again, the get allowed when people use their head, sticks, like stick, so they have bounces,
yeah,
2x4. If 2x4 allowed,
yeah.
See, the same way that 2x4 is allowed, the gorilla is also allowed to take somebody and use that person as 2x4.
no, no,
Sure.
yes, somebody is going to die.
You will not
They're going
get
to,
Yeah.
loads.
there will be casualties. Somebody is going to die. A lot will get injured. But
Mm.
philosophy, the gorilla will beg for his life.
Okay.
People, 12 human beings. Like you can even make it a joke. Say 50 men, 50 women, 100 people. That's
I think 100 is too much. Yeah. Like just go to the jungle in Ibadan State. Go and see what they're catching there.
No, let's go to the
Which
Congo.
one is gorilla?
Yes, let's.
I
No
mean,
worries, but I just wanted to just see your takes on this real quick. Yeah. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Scatteryan Podcast, where we discuss and break down how society influences behavior. I'm your guy, Dr. Toves, and today we have a fantastic conversation for you because in a previous episode, two episodes ago, my guy, Mr. Nelson, made a particular statement that made me ponder. Hmm, is something that we should actually scatter the yarns of. And that statement that Nelson made was that if you're a man, if you're in this world and you're born a man, you're already at a disadvantage. And the thing is, yeah, you're not the only one that shares that sentiment because there are a lot of men that have come across that make it sound like being a man is a disadvantage. So I'm going to ask the audience, have you guys ever felt, if you're a man, have you ever felt like being a man makes life harder or easier? Now, before we get into this conversation, I want people to know that this isn't a men versus women debate. I'm not going there. It's not about comparing struggles or counting who as it was. Instead, it's about having an honest conversation about what some men quietly deal with and how society expect them to move through life. We're going to be making this a mini series because there are different layers to this conversation about men being at a disadvantage. But today we're going to be scattering the yarns of how the society turn financial stability into a measure of manhood. That's what we're going to be scattering the yarns about today. And joining me, the audience from Nelson, please welcome back, Mr. Nelson. How are you feeling today, Nelson?
something. Good to be here again. Boy,
Thank you. We also have Dr. Morris back in the building. How are you feeling today, Dr. Morris? Sir?
Feeling very well. So far, so good. Fully recovered from the marathon, so I'm good.
Yeah, that's well done on that. I don't think I've ever run a marathon in my life, but well done for that, for doing that with professionals as well. And I'm also
Uh,
joining us back again is Mr. Sheon T. Like I said, the most liberal person I know. How are you feeling today, Sheon, in this liberalized world of yours?
I'm doing well. The world is not as liberal as I would like it to be, but generally, I'm doing well. Looking forward to the conversation. Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Well, let's get into it because we should be honest. In many societies, all across the world, being a man is often less about who you are, but more about how much you earn, right? But I want to start with Sean on this one. Who created these rules? And are these rules still serving us in 2025? Basically, are men today victims of the world that they supposedly built, if you believe in the whole patriarchal argument and things like that?
So I think, from my perspective, there's no way around getting into an oppression Olympics. Basically, trying to figure out who has it worse between men and women, because there's no way to make the claim that men have it worse without the relative, like, worse in compared to what, or worse relative to what, right? So relative to being a woman. And I don't know about you guys, but like, I'm glad that I was born a man. Like, for all the challenges, I do think, I don't think I'll prefer to move through this world as a woman. I think without a doubt, it's definitely a man's world. The challenge is that being a man also comes with a lot of responsibilities, essentially. And it's the weight of those responsibilities that are difficult to deal with. The weight of the responsibilities, the fact that to a large extent the world doesn't give you any rewards. Essentially, it's expected of you to be a man or to live up to the expectations, basically. So there's no reward for your efforts, to a large extent. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with it, but also the benefits of the patriarchy, right? And so, to answer your question directly, Dr.
In terms
Toes,
of,
yes,
yeah.
this was created. This was created by it was created by men, for the benefit of men. And unfortunately, the problem now is that in 2025, right? Many men are falling short of the expectations that they grew up with to no fault of theirs, right? Because due to economic inequality, essentially, and changing paradigms around what women earn. So women are a lot more economically and financially mobile than they were in the past. So they have a lot more options. Basically, what that has left us with is with a bunch of men who, one, are not able to achieve the initial goals that they set for themselves.
Nelson, do you agree with that? Because I could see you
Oh,
raring to say something.
okay, I do, because it made a lot of sense saying it. So, but I personally do not agree that it's a man's role. I think it's a woman's role. But it just feels like it's our world. Just most of the things we say we do for our comfort, do it for whatever reason, but most times men are triggered by these women. You understand? I don't know.
Fair
I
enough.
personally think it's the woman's world.
Okay. Like I said, I didn't want to go. I don't want to take it into men versus women. So I'll try to bring it back into men because I talk about men and the challenges or, as Sean tried to say, benefits that we feel. I'm going to ask Dr. Morris. Growing up, Dr. Morris, what did you hear more often? Did you hear you need to be a good man, or you need to make money? Which one did you hear more often? I'm sure you heard both, but which one did you hear of more?
Um, I think I had more of you need to more in the lines of you need to make money, right?
Mhm.
Even for something as simple as I remember one time I was coming back from a no, scratch that. That's a different case. So it's not related. So yeah. So yes, I would say definitely more make money because on so many instances you would hear when people would say, oh, for example, don't worry, a man like when they're talking about physical standards, I'll tell you, a man, there are no handsome men. The only thing that is handsome about a man is his pocket. So
Mhm.
you're not even implying, you're directly saying that um, a man is measured by how much he is worth,
Mhm.
per se, which personally I don't agree with that statement, but we've heard that so many times, even till today. You have a lot of people that will say, I would rather have this, well, how does the saying go? Something that has to do with six pack, um,
I'd rather have money
and
than to have
then,
a six
yeah,
pack or something like that.
yeah, something like that. That it doesn't. So basically, you're equating because for me, six packs
Hmm.
comes with the fact that you have a six pack means number one, you're fit physically, you're healthy. So the fact that you have a six pack means you're quite healthy, you're mobile, I
Hmm.
mean genetics can play a role, but it means that you're probably doing something or some form of physical activity to help you gain that.
Yeah.
But to say that you would rather be in a state whereby you don't have that and have money, to me it doesn't really make sense because but that's tells you the extent to which society has gone to, you know, depict that it's more important to be wealthy as a man as opposed to achieving other important aspects of life. So yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right because I've also growing up. I also heard more of make more money. You have to make money than choose your passion or chase your passion, things like that. Because you also hear that a man must provide. A man must always bring something to the table. Do I think it's a disadvantage? No, I think it's something that people need to hear. You need to hear. I see it as a motivation in a sense. But on the other hand, they tend to use it to judge people, right? They tend to use
Yeah.
that same saying and standard to judge people. So I'm going to go to Nelson. If money makes the man, if money is the one that makes the man, then what happens to men who are broke?
It's just,
You said
I said, no one is too very. I said, if you come to the world as a man, you're already losing one spirit.
yes.
So if you come to the world and you're a broke man, you're losing three zero. Like, you need serious remontada. Somebody said that lack of money is a disability.
Wow.
You understand?
Mm.
For a man. I believe it because honestly, money enables you to do a lot of things that you don't even know you can do. You
Yeah.
get me?
Yeah.
So yeah, not having money is a serious disability for men.
Hmm. So let me
Not
introduce.
like
Yeah, sorry, go
you
on.
are allowed, since you said you are not comparing, but you are allowed to be broke if you are the opposite gender. So in some part of the world, like Nigeria, for instance, you are actually allowed to be broke. Because we make excuses for you if you are the opposite gender. But if you are a man and you are broke, it's as if you are not taking the right opportunities, you are not making the right steps, you are not doing the right things, right? You are doing everything wrong. So
Hmm.
it's your fault.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yes.
Now, let me introduce you to this fictional scenario. Let me introduce you to someone called Michael. Right, his name is Michael. Michael is the 29-year-old man. 29-year-old man. He just got a job after 2 years of grinding and rejection emails, and that job pays him. And we all Nigerians here, 120,000 naira. Right. If I'm to compare that to maybe in UK, maybe like 1,000, no, 1,200, 1,300 pounds. It's not directly equivalent. We're just saying like that will be.
120.
I'm not
Okay,
saying that is not
okay.
that's not the direct
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just
Okay,
saying like
okay.
that's
I
basically that's
understand.
like the basic amount that you kind of need, basically, right? So let's say if that person earned $1,200 or 1,200 pounds. That money is not much by any standing, but it's a start, right? Now Michael tells his friends about the job and how much they pay. His friends say to him, "Guy, that one is pocket money. Are you sure that is enough to get you married?" you know, he tells his family about the job and how much they pay. They said, "Oh yeah, when will you start sending money to start supporting the house? You know your sister needs school fees." right? He tells his girlfriend, and she says, "Oh, baby, congrats. When are we moving in together?" So basically, these different congratulations have come with a different bill, which means that Michael cannot even celebrate how much he's making or his success because he's already drowning with how he's going to take care of different responsibilities. Like I said, when we're growing up here, you're the man of the house, you have to provide. But what happens when a man's sense of self, sorry, what happens to a man's sense of self if his pockets are empty? Because I've seen a lot of men in this world that when they are broke, they are hard to deal with. Like they are not happy, they are moody, they don't want to talk to anybody, don't want to see anybody. But once there's money in their account, they're the happiest. When there's money in their account, they're the happiest people in the world. They are more social, they are more friendly. And I think it has to do with that societal conditioning of men to be providers and to always have money and money defining self-worth. Or what do you guys think? Am I making this up, or you've experienced something similar?
I'm not making anything up. Sometimes you see people telling you that without money, you really can't do anything. Money makes you happy. So sometimes of Allah you receive, and it just lightens your mood. So you can't blame that person that is feeling some type of way or acting up because he doesn't have money. Because lack of money can even just influence you, just make you angry. Because I experience, like, I explain, I've heard saying that a hungry man is an hungry man.
Yeah,
You heard that,
that's
right?
that's another
So,
one.
do
Yes.
you, do you think somebody that doesn't have money won't be hungry?
Hmm.
So, if he's hungry, won't he be hungry?
Hmm.
So, I mean, and most times, our problems are not really our problems are not really just us. Like, for instance, now, see that dude that's got $1,000, £1,000 for his monthly earnings. If, if he was thinking about just himself, chances are it might be good. Like you might be able to survive, you might be able to get by. But when you start thinking about the responsibilities that you're supposed to shoulder, like you tell your parents and they're already expecting, because you're the person and they're already expecting and anticipating that okay, you need to start sending money home. And you tell your babe, she's already expecting that, yeah, okay, now you got a job, you need to start taking care of some of my needs. So that conflict of okay, now you are now caught up in between, okay, you are not even buying anything for yourself because of the responsibilities of other people.
Hmm.
So you are not even taking care of yourself. I have one colleague that always cracks this joke that every time he gets his salary, he doesn't drink, he doesn't have any vices. So every time he gets his salary, he has a joint close to his house where he goes to and he orders a whole chicken, like a whole chicken with one big yogurt. Like he says he does every month. because he realized that the money he's working for is not exactly for him. So when the salary comes, he will first eat the one guy. It's like, I'll turn this into physical chicken. It's a all chicken. I drink one liter of yogurt before it goes home. Because he knows the moment he gets into the house, the money is dilapidated. The money is gone. So let me end there.
Right. So, Morris, what do you think? Do you have anything to add to it?
I was just thinking about the pressure that comes with, um, you know, the responsibility that comes with just being a male, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I like to think to myself that okay, so you have, let's say, a friend
Mm-hmm.
or an acquaintance that is in need, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And just a thought experiment, and no, you are the one in need. Let's change it. So let's just assume that you're in need, right? And you want you need to raise some finances. Who are you going to call? There's a very high probability that is going to be male.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that is, I don't know, but I think I may be wrong on this, right? But based on the, experiences I've had in the past, based on some communications I've had with close associates, it's always, even with females, they would most likely ask a male person. So it's not because a female person cannot necessarily afford that, but because society has created this sort of dependency that for men it's you're providers, like we said earlier. Men are seen as the providers. So when you need some provision, who do you turn to? You turn to a male. So that keeps me wondering. And sometimes what that does is that it places unnecessary pressure on individuals to go above themselves, and sometimes dismiss themselves in order to please others.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn that the hard way, that sometimes, and it takes, a conscious effort to say, nope, I'm not going to do this anymore. If I don't want to do it, or I cannot really afford to do this, then I'm not doing it. Not because some pressure or some expectation from some set of people demands that I do that. No, it has to truly come from you. It has to be something you're genuinely comfortable with. Otherwise, we will keep saying that, okay, yes, men are, but at the end of the day, we have a choice
Yeah.
in terms of how we want to react to such things. So, which is why I would say at the end of the day, it still boils down to you as the individual. And again, we also have a choice. Yes, you can feel bad when you don't have money, but again, it's a state of mind. You can also decide not to feel bad just because you're broke or you don't have money. So
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Because
Yeah, that's it.
huh?
Is that?
I'm still worried. Do you know the mental energy you need to ignore just feeling of not having money?
Mm.
Do you know the level of irresponsibility you like? You need to have some certain level of irresponsibility to be able to ignore the fact that there's no money.
No,
Like,
no, you
if
see what you say. Look at what you just said. You said you need to have a level of irresponsibility.
you ignore the fact that there's no money.
No, but you see, that's what causes the pressure, because you just place the pressure on. It's like you're placing the pressure on yourself that you're irresponsible for not, you know, acknowledging that.
And
So I think that's also part of the issue here, because we put the pressure on ourselves. It doesn't have to be that way, I think.
yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree because I want to say before that's I know Ness was going to make similar points because all of those financial pressure, they don't just empty people's wallets, they empty people's soul as well because there are
Yeah.
many men battling, like you said, depression, anxiety, even some have suicidal thoughts because of the kind of realization, like pressure and that society and everyone is putting on you. So it's kind of like society is telling you that you only have two options as a man: either you grind or be shamed for not grinding enough. and that emotional toll is massive. I'm hoping in the future I'm going to bring back Dr. Emeka. We talk about mental health and kind of solutions and tips for men. But let's kind of move the conversation a bit further. So I'm going to ask one. We also let me move the conversation to something different, right? And because at the end of the day, most men don't want to be alone. So let's go into whether a broke man can find love, because they say love is sweet when money enters, or a man should not be doing what is a man doing in a relationship if he is broke. So this I'm going to start with Morris.
First of all, I was
Yes.
in fact yesterday and we were just having a conversation. It was about how human beings will sleep with anything. Like humans that need or female sleep with anything. So I know of the fact that money has never been a yardstick to find love.
No, again,
Money
you
has never
wait. You started with sleep with, and relationship
yes.
are two different things.
Please now, now please. So so yeah, because honestly, but if not because the world is the way it is now, but in old times, once you only put me in a relationship with quote and unquote. So don't let's now break it
No,
down
you see that want to
to
do kokonsa. You want to try to migramo. We know what we're talking about
now
here.
anyways, you do not need money to find love. But I promise you need money to keep love.
Hmm. Again, the same thing. We are
You
saying the
don't
same
need
thing.
you don't need money to find it, and
Hmm.
you should never even need money to find love. But trust me, you need money to maintain it.
Okay,
Trust me,
so
daddy.
so so so, but I disagree.
Go ahead.
You need
Are
money
you
to
talking about
maintain love. Okay.
yes? If the money is coming from, I do not know. If it came from the woman, if it
So
comes
when
from the
you say
man.
maintain, what do you mean maintain?
So let me to answer your question. What are the love languages existing? Love languages. What are the love languages existing?
I don't know. It differs with
Okay, so
individuals.
no,
So
everything. I know it differs. That's what I'm comparing everything. There's
Touch.
okay.
touch, physical touch.
Hmm.
There is what now? Not your service.
Yes.
There is gifts. Which one? Gifts
Yes.
giving.
Gift.
Abi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then there is one too.
I don't know
Child.
all of them, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't know all of
Yeah.
them, but I
I know mine is act
trust
of
me.
service.
Yeah, acts of service. You think it's free?
It's giving your time. Some people just appreciate the time, isn't it? Your
What
time.
is money? It's money. So what are we really learning about it? Service is
No,
not
it
free.
doesn't.
It's
It
just
doesn't have to be money.
here, bro. Let me not add something to
He's,
this,
he's
eh?
basically saying the time you're giving for act of service, you could have been making money, so you're sacrificing
I
money.
promise you. And if you are giving more act of service than you are giving gifts, hmm, it's not that you have too much time on your hands. That means you are doing something to make you broke.
Hey, look at this one. This is what we're talking about here. This is exactly what the topic is about, right?
You are
Broke
doing
shaming.
too much.
What if I'm enjoying my brokenness? Why are you broke shaming me?
And if you know you are enjoying this genuinely,
You see, you
it's
are
not,
also
Exactly.
projecting that.
you are really sure. So I don't know if we could do a survey and just, but it should be weird because now you have to stereotype people and say, okay, this is the level of poverty and whatnot. Or using economics, when they taught us in school, they say if you don't spend $1 a day, you are poor. If
Hmm.
you can't afford to spend $1 a day on yourself, you are poor. Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
let's assume
So
so.
so let's assume that we are using the brackets of people that we know for a fact that this person cannot afford $1 a day for the next 60 days. So let's talk to those people. Are you really
It's not about are you happy. This now let me rephrase the question a different way. How about what
Okay.
if we could redefine success, a man's success, different from money? Wouldn't that help to change some of this mentality? What if we say
from from
if a man is not like extremely rich, he's able to like have inner happiness, he's satisfied with his condition in life, right? Can't we define that as success? Though must we use other people's yardstick to measure
No, no,
each
no, no.
individual.
Personally, that's my own definition of success. How you feel inside, you understand.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
sometimes, we need to say the truth. The outside too can also affect the inside. The way the inside can affect the outside.
Again,
Are you perfect?
truth is relative.
Yeah. Truth is relative. But I don't believe that truth is truth.
No,
The
truth is
outside
relative
can,
because some people say truth is fact. Some people say truth is what they can see. Some people say truth is what they believe. So truth is relative depending on who you ask. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it depends on the type of truth. But
Yes.
basically, it's the
When you said type
three.
of truth, it means it's relative, no?
But the absolute truth or is what we call the objective truth that is true, whether you like it or yes. There's no two ways about that, right? So that's the truth. So those are
The truth in Saudi Arabia and in Iran is that women must wear hijab. That is the truth. But that truth is absolute and objective in that part of the world. But if you
no,
come,
it's not objective.
it is
It's
for you. It is not
it's a
objective.
personal truth.
No, to them it
Yeah,
is.
that's why it's a personal truth to
No, it
them.
is an
Yes.
objective truth to them. Objective and absolute truth. That's what they believe.
No, no, no.
Okay, but now
No,
if you
it
come
is
to another place,
subjective.
now just the way you're disagreeing, again, that's not true to you, but to them is the truth. Hence why I said truth is relative, depending on the people. So what I'm trying to say is instead of saying
Okay.
let's just say the truth, let's say what we believe at this point in time.
Okay, fair enough.
not true. You understand? Because me, I believe personally the truth is not exactly anything. The truth is the truth, the lie is the lie.
Yeah.
Thank you. When you're now saying, when you the scenario you use to explain truth is not exactly the right scenario, because what you explain is belief. There's a difference,
Give me the right scenario then.
there's a difference between the truth and the lie. Do you understand? No matter the context you want to put it in. Do you get? You cannot tell me that. You can't tell me that I go outside now, I look up and I see it's sunny. Then I come back inside and somebody says it's a lie when you can literally see the sun. Do you
Again,
understand?
that's
But
for
when you're
you.
talking,
Again, that is seeing is believing. You see it, so you think, what if it's actually the moon and it's an eclipse?
what?
Wait, what? How are we here? I thought we were
I
talking
know,
about what's it
yeah,
called?
I just want to argue for fun. Let's go back. Let's go back. Sorry, guys.
Okay, let's go back. uh,
Yeah.
uh,
So you see, I like that we've come to a conclusion that we need to understand that being happy or content with what you have personally means that you can explain or can interpret your level of success.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't
Your
agree that
level
we've
of
come to a conclusion. I've not agreed that we've come to a
okay,
conclusion.
so I and you, Dr. Jones, if
Toves.
I stand on the premise, Dr. Jones, if I stand on the premise that you're standing on, you are saying that how you feel, your innate feeling can be that stick to define your success more than your actual material sets and whatnot that you have.
Yes.
So you are saying success is a mental thing and not, it shouldn't be physical.
Yes, it's mental, but then that's why this is what we do as Katayan, because at the end of the day, our mindset, our mentality sometimes come from how we're raised, our society, our upbringing, right? So that's why I'm asking, is there a way for us to just redefine this success instead of building this pressure on people, right? Because the scenario use of Michael that his friend is saying, will he be able to marry his parents, his family in this situation, and saying, bring us money. His girlfriend is saying, oh, let me see, you're going to be able to ball more, right? There is so much expectation on men's finances that it actually transcends more than just the ability of just being a man. It affects those individual men's mental state. So, is there a way for us to change this
see,
and or
okay,
modify? Let's say modify. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So this is my logic to it,
Mhm.
right? The reason why people are usually disappointed about anything is because there's an expectation that was not met,
Yeah.
right? So if the expectation from society is that me would displease myself to please them, then they will constantly be disappointed because I will always choose me. And if everyone has that mentality that their success is not defined by someone else's expectation, that's a very crucial step to defeating whatever expectation that they think has been placed upon them. Yes, you can expect all you like because that's what you've been sort of raised to believe or raised with. So it's the baseline, thinking process for whoever. But at the end of the day, it still falls down to you to decide how would I react to this particular situation. If somebody expects something from you, let them expect. It's just an expectation. You don't have to succumb to that expectation. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So,
John Morris, Stephen said on that. Did you see the story of Mr. Michael that he gave us? The people he
yeah,
called, the first person is his friend. A person is your
okay.
friend for a reason because you did. The next person you call
True.
is family, father and mother. That's you can joke with. And the third person was
Okay.
girlfriend, somebody that you chose to be yours. So all of these people can actually influence how you feel. No matter how solid you are as a person, like no matter how you stand on business of the person that okay, I have my principle and what the external factors of the world says cannot move me. It's you'll be lying to yourself. If your mom tries to you to tell me that man, send me some money, you'll be lying to yourself if you tell me that you are not going to be moved some type of way that you cannot send that money right now.
But you
Let's
see,
so
but you see,
that's
that's
in his own
part of the
bracket.
problem that we're
They might be
talking.
able, it's not a problem. This person, you can look at it from this scenario. This person was there for you. This person came through for you to this point where you are as a man. Now you have got a job, and this person now expects a kickback. But for some reason,
But
you are not there yet to be able to give us the level that it requires. It will require some level of irresponsibility for you to feel nonchalant about that feeling.
no, I don't think so. Because what I think that means is that when people do certain things that they should do, for example, as a parent, your duty is to raise up your child in the best way that you can, not with any expectation, right? At least that's what I believe it should be, right? So if you're expecting that because you're friends with somebody, then they owe you something, it's also, I think, a mindset that is kind of flawed in a way.
That's why I talk to the parents. I didn't talk about the friend, I didn't talk about the girlfriend.
Yes.
Let's talk to the parents.
But the parents,
This person is not coming from the only perspective. This person is coming from a niche perspective. I need
okay,
something. And I'm going to my child to ask. And now, I,
okay.
the child, a person, my mom has come to ask me for something that I cannot come through. And
Again, emphasis on can you deliver genuinely within yourself? Can you or can you not?
You cannot.
I cannot at the
So
moment.
what is I'm still struggling to see the issue when you cannot. It's not like you're in a position where you can or maybe. You've already said that you cannot. So that's the first truth you've told to yourself that you cannot, right? So if you've established that fact that within yourself you cannot, so
I told myself the first truth. I should feel less emotional about it.
no, you don't have to feel emotional about it. I don't think it's a difficult one, It's a difficult one. Dr. Toves, I don't know what you think about this
I
one.
don't know. I'm just going to try to round up because we'll just be here all day. Like I said, it's a very, very intense topic. That's why I'm going to make it a mini
Yeah.
series. We'll look at different aspects on different days, right? But let's round up as usual with some games, right? This one is going to be called Fix It or Leave It. Fix it is
Okay.
something that society needs to change, okay? And then leave it
Okay.
is basically you think that it is fair, there's no need to change it, okay? So fix it
I feel
or
like we
leave
are
it.
going to be fixing a lot of things, but go on.
I'll just give.
Oh, it.
All
Okay,
right, let's
right.
see. Let's see.
Okay. Men paying on every date. Fix it or leave it.
Fix it.
City.
Okay. Leave it. Leave it the way it is. You should be responsible, man.
You see, you're part of the problem.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Men men being judged by their cars or salary before being respected. Fix it or leave it.
Why are you thinking so hard about this one? It's easy. We should
Answer
not be
now.
judged by anything materialistic. We should be judged by the character, our character. So, in fact, we should not even judge anybody. Let's even leave it at that. We
Okay.
shouldn't judge anybody. So no.
Yeah,
So fix it.
Fix it as well. Fix it as well. And the last one, I'll take your laughter as you
No,
agree.
nothing has not answered yet. So he has it.
Leave it.
Look at him, judgmental person. I'm going to judge you by your car next time.
I judge myself every day. I judge myself. There are places that you want to go to. Sometimes you want to park inside, but
Okay.
and they just park outside.
Okay.
All right. So let's do two would you rather's and then that's it for the episode. Now the first one is this: would you rather your future daughter marry a broke kind man or a rich, emotionally unstable one?
That's easy. My daughter would not even be broke in the first place. So why would she
No,
need some man?
you are adding.
No,
You are adding. We don't care about the
no.
context.
Even if she's broke,
Mhm.
I'd rather she's with somebody kind. And what's yeah. No, definitely not.
Yeah. I also agree that go on, Nelson.
So I'll leave because times change. Because times change now. When our parents were getting married, it was okay to marry a kind man because it was easier to see prospects. You know, it was very easy to see prospects. Not too many people were going to school, and no, but these days, yes. This one I'm going to leave it. I can't decide for my daughter which he will marry. So,
That's a good couple. Very good one. Clap for
Yeah.
yourself.
Well, I'll let the audience decide as well. But I would say,
mhm.
no, I'll say a broke kind man because we're saying people should be able to like feel some sort of like self worth that's not tied to financial things. So if you're a kind person, that should be fine.
The new thing is unkind and emotionally unavailable.
No, emotionally unavailable one. So if you're on emotion,
So you know the difference.
say
No,
that again.
if you're emotionally unavailable, that also implies that you're unkind. Maybe I will revert back to Nelson's answer. She can make that decision by herself. So that changes things a little bit. So yeah.
Okay.
But
Last
that is
one.
Who am I to decide if my daughter marries?
exactly.
Well, it's a would
Okay.
you rather. It's a game. It's a game, guys. It's not real life.
My daughter's life.
Next one is, or the final one is: would you rather be rich but constantly questioned for not being man enough, or broke but deeply respected by your circle? I'll ask again for those at the back. Would you rather be rich but constantly questioned for not being man enough, or broke but deeply respected by your circle? Which one would you
I
rather be?
think this is easy. Wait. Let me answer this.
Go
You
on.
know the reason why I'll go with the rich option because I couldn't give a 1+1 about what somebody else thinks about whether or not I'm man enough or not. So whether or not you say I'm man enough doesn't change the fact that I am man enough or not. So your opinion in that case doesn't matter. So yeah, I'd rather be rich.
Mm.
Thank you. Yeah.
I don't even think I don't even think there's any rich person that is not man enough. Even if you're a woman, they'll treat you like a man if you have money, you know.
All right. I will go the other way just because why not? Right? As humans, we are social beings. Sometimes we crave love, we crave respect, we crave some form of what's now societal gratification, social gratification. So because of that, I'll rather have the respect of my friends as well, you know. So that's what I'm going to go with. So let me leave you, the audience, with some questions to scatter your own thoughts. Right? If a man can't provide, is he still respected in society, or should he still be respected in society? And number two, why is a man's value tied to how much he earns and not who he is? And number three, are we, men and women, reinforcing an economic system that's burning everyone out, especially men? Think about it, reflect, and share. Give us your own thoughts in the comment section below. And if you're on YouTube, do the same as well. If you're on audio platform that does not have the comment section, please send us an email or reach out via social media. TikTok, I'm very active there. Thank you very much. I'm going to say thank you to
Thank you
Dr.
very much
Morris
for
and to
having me.
Sir Nelson, for joining us today, and giving us your thoughts on this one. Thank you for listening to Scatterland. If this episode stirred something in you, whether anger, truth, or maybe even relief, share it. Send it to a brother, a boyfriend, a father, or a friend. And, let us know what you think in the comment section below. Press the like button if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening via other platforms, please give us a thumbs up. Really appreciate it. And as usual, I'm going to say until the next episode, please stay safe, stay curious, question everything, and use your brain.
Thank you
SCFR.
very
Change your toothbrush, please.
Peace.